this fireside chat, it's called Successful Low-Code-NoCode Implementations in Accelerating Applications Development. And for that, we are honored to have Fahad Bedaiwi. He's the Executive Vice President, Head Facilities Management and Engineering at Saudi National Bank. Can we have a round of applause for him, please? With more than 20 years of experience and an extensive background in IT management, we are delighted to have Fahad today with us. Next on, I would like to welcome onto the stage Dr. Bandar Al-Sayari. He's the Head of Information Technology Operations at Riyadh Air. He is a seasoned IT leader with diverse experience in aviation, banking, and oil and gas industries. And last but not least, this fireside chat will be moderated by Waqas Ahmed, Chief Architect at Solutions and Solutions Advisor. Waqas has over 22 years of experience in leading engineering teams, and he successfully launched multiple multi-million-dollar platforms which are serving global and kingdom-wise customers. Gentlemen, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you very much for giving us a chance in this wonderful event being held in the kingdom. We know that this is not the first event and this is not the last event, and the way that the things are going on right now and the technology is moving, and most importantly, how the business is moving right now is phenomenal. As a growth and the transition being happened, especially when artificial intelligence tools being introduced. So it's very important to know the role of low-code, no-code tools and how we can leverage these tools to benefit not only from delivery perspective but also from the business management perspective. I would like to take this opportunity to have my two renowned technology experts with me. First of all, Fahad is with us. He is from SNB, and also Dr. Bandar from Riyadh. We will spend some time with them to go through their experiences, not only from the conventional software development perspective, but also from low-code, no-code experience that they have in their official life that we also pass every day. So I would start from Fahad. Fahad, from your experience, that generally it's a very basic question, but this is how we start the conversation. That what are the common hurdles that organizations face when they start this journey for low-code, no-code implementation, and then what are the best practices or the solutions that can help them to mitigate this challenge? Because taking the step is the first thing, and then people stop on the first step. So from your experience, how do you see these things?
Thanks, Mr. Waqas. Low-code, no-code platform is to streamline the applications, so will minimize or no traditional coding will be. And the challenging that most of the organization experience is the integration with the existing system. And to mitigate this, you need select the right tools, such as APIs that tools have a capability to integrate. Other challenging like scalability and the data. So once you have huge data, you need to have the right platform to can deal with this data. Customization limitation, so you cannot do the right customization if you didn't do the right applications as well. Governance have a lot of rules and regulations that need to be implemented. Security, if you didn't do the right vulnerability test to know the threat of the applications, you will have gap at the application or platform. Last but not least is the awareness. So traditional IT people usually resist the change. So you need to have the right awareness, right engagement for them to accept this change.
Right. I think you rightly said that the people are from the conventional background. They are afraid of taking these considerations, um, um, but I think once they start this journey, they have to first prepare like they are preparing for any other project or any other platform that we typically launch. So considering this, and I'll take this discussion to Dr. Bandar as well. Dr. Bandar, from your experience, what are the key considerations that organizations should take to make sure that they smoothly, transition from the typical software development approaches to low-code, no-code approach, and not only that, but also they, assess the impact on the user experience, because people are afraid of being losing the business. User experience is everything right now. So, what are your highlights on this subject?
Actually, as you know, the technology has become very fast and change day by day. So I believe there is no any organization doesn't have a legacy system or some new initiatives from the business. Actually, from today, I want to focus more about the business side than the technical side, because as you know, the low-code now make seamless tools for developer to deliver the good feature for the end user. Moreover, if we become like digitalized, that means you have to avoid human accessing your processing by automate your system, integrate your system. If you basically talking about the enterprise organization now, for example, like banking sector or aviation sector, you will have like there our customer using mobile application which is hiding around thousands of services. Those services, it's not come from one day. It's become like 20 years of deploy the services to be in your mobile. So actually it is not easy for the legacy companies, but if you start up, you have to think more about how to make the life cycle of your innovation and how to apply that for your services to your end user.
Like I think you have highlighted one very important point, that people reached where they are today has a long journey. They have a reputation, they have services that should not be impacted, and especially when we are living in a super app era where a lot of organizations have launched all their services into a single platform, so it will become challenging for them to go on this journey. But at the same time, I would like to ask to Mr. Fahad that, in your opinion, how can we measure the success, or what would be the key KPIs when we talk about from implementation perspective, from the success perspective, that when if we implemented the low-code environment or the tool, how can we really measure the success? And this success not only covers the rollout only, but also the user experience perspective.
A very good question, Mr. Waqas. I will start from the end for Mr. Bender. It's the key performance indicators for the low-code, no-code. It's first time to market. So if you develop and deploy more platform, more applications, so you can take the right market share in no time, as well as number of active user and engaged user for the platform as well. So once you have more employee get engaged, get used, that means you have the right KPIs as well. Also, the application performance and response time, and if there is any bug or error that you can notice. So if the applications can work in high performance, no hang, no errors. That means you are in the right track, as well as the scalability. So have to can use more, using more data and customize more, depth more in the customizations. Also, it's the security and the governance regulations to be implemented with no vulnerability access or test. I think from my perspective, this is the right KPIs, but this is not the end. So there is a lot of KPIs that can focus on in low-code, no-code platform to make sure this is the right application to right success for the organizations.
Absolutely, as you mentioned, really basic thing is the time to market or to roll out, how faster we were able to roll out comparing to what we have done in a typical software development. But at the same time, I would like to highlight here that the journey have to start. I mean, the KPIs will remain same, the other KPIs might remain same, but generally you will measure the success from time to market stuff plus the number of bugs that may arrive during the production deployment or the state deployment. The thing is that how can we mitigate? I mean, I personally feel that if you have a mature DevOps practice in your organization, most of these tools are already integratable through DevOps pipelines, and then you can have your test automation, your DevSecOps being implemented. So I think there should not be a problem. Even it is to start the journey, you start with small, and then with the passage of time, it will improve the performance and it will improve the adoption across the teams. There is one more aspect here which I would like to ask Dr. Bandar, that generally when you start anything, because like DevOps was a change in culture of the deployment. Similarly, low-code is a change of culture, change of phenomena in typical software development. So how would you see that the better collaboration and communication plays a role for the rollout of any change in the organization, especially when there are cultural barriers, people are afraid of being changed, people are afraid of being challenged. How do you see that lobbying internally or creating orientation sessions, gathering the people on a common ground and then empowering them and telling them that guys, let's start and then we'll go through it. How do you see this effectiveness of communication and lobbying before starting a project, especially for low-code, no-code?
Firstly, I would like to say to you, people don't like to change. This is fact. Actually, if you need to adapt low-code and code for environment they are not using before, so you will face huge resistance, not only for the developers or end user, if we assume it's IT, even for the business people, because you will take them out of the comfort zone. In my opinion, the new generation, they don't have this issue. Today, the business and become a millionaire or billionaire, it's not because you have a huge discipline and some characters that's different than now, but how you will be fast in the market, how you can accommodate your market. If you find today here in Saudi, I have a big names now, I cannot mention now, but they provide SaaS mode for the normal people. I can say it like Salla or Zip, there is no code. There is totally no code. You can build your store, integrate with the banking, do your payments, deliver your stuff. With the small family, they make this business. So what you imagine after like 10 years? A lot of change will make this game to be more difficult. So I went back to your question. For my opinion, the leadership is most important if you need to do your transportation, a transition to the digitalized. So if you have a leadership that his experience with this tool not that much, but he understands the concept. It doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. This leadership, he already have to have success story 1, 2, 3 times to ensure those people they follow the right way. It is not easy. Is it not easy? But it is not impossible.
Absolutely, you pointed rightly that the leadership plays a very important role to gather the people on same grounds, and not only that, but encouraging them to fail and have a failure culture in the organization. It's very important because experimentation leads you to learn a lot of new things and to adopt a lot of new things. Moving forward to Mr. Fahad, from your experience, Mr. Fahad, can you help us in highlighting some of the success stories that you know from your experience implementing low-code, no-code as a success story, as Dr. Bandar also mentioned, Salah, it's a very big platform either for B2B and those things. Do you know any other platform or any other success story, especially the lessons learned and the success? How do they measure the success that they were successful in implementing these things?
Dr. Bandar said, not easy, but not impossible.
Right.
Wow. Schneider Electric did a very smart platform that's using Microsoft Power AI that allow the end user to monitor and manage the power, the efficiency, the infrastructure, and all these things. And do a little bit customize in the application as well. This is one of the success story. They implement a low-code, no-code platform for the end user. No need much training or technical trainings. It's simple, easy, customized.
Right. So basically the thing is that as I learned from both of you that the tools are available in the market, and most of the tools now are pretty much mature enough to be at least to be experimented, and then you should have a right use case and the courage to actually start working with them and start even with small things, start with smaller use cases, and then figure out what exactly you want to do. And then don't be afraid of the failures being happened. Keep moving and then see how, in which direction are you going, and then keep moving. I mean, it will really help you to move faster. But there is one concern which actually we initially discussed as well. Why are companies afraid of these things? One of the factors was the scalability. Because once we are living in an era of DevOps, we are living in the era of containers, we are living in an era of cloud-native applications. Scalability is a bigger concern for the organizations. It could make or break your product. Especially in the financial sector or any other sector, if the application is down for a few seconds or a few minutes, the losses are around millions. So that's why this is another factor that people are worried of. And in your industry as well, in the airlines, you cannot afford being down. I mean, it's really a concern for the security and from other perspective. How do you see that we can enhance the scalability in low-code, no-code applications? How can we measure them? How can we encourage the people to test those things before going live?
Actually, because as you know, Riyadh is a new environment built last year, so we are going fully data centerless. We don't have data center.
Okay.
All in cloud. The people will go to cloud. Tomorrow, the people will don't have to write a code.
Right.
You know now AI is smash anything happened before. Before, we have to make sure our developers have a good environment like GitHub or something to make the project and that, etc. But now, I believe this is a blue ocean for the new initiatives for anyone need to build no-code, low-code platform, and he need to know what specific area he will target. So, for example, in the maintenance, flight maintenance, we have a lot of paperwork. You don't know that the mechanical, you can give him iPad or laptop to update the things. It's impossible. But with Microsoft Power BI, we're using Creator and so we are using a different platform with Oracle, and we did a lot of integration between those systems. Now it's become more easy, and we are first airline is not using any paper in the plane. Yeah. So this is like what I have it now, but I have a lot, but I cannot share it with you guys. But why I give this example? Because still the market, you need more SaaS platforms. The people, they can engage in the business. The business become more changed, not like usual. So I believe the enterprise, he must consider to be a low-code and no-code area.
Right. I mean, people are more trusting into cloud, and alhamdulillah, cloud is now inside Saudi. Big names are already here, and people can leverage the cloud environment. But from scalability perspective, I think what I understood from you is that if we are moving to a cloud-native application, then scalability won't be a challenge. However, I would like to add to your discussion that even for the on-premise applications where you are hosting the application into your own data centers, again, the thing comes in that scalability can be achieved with the passage of time. I mean, you need to know that for what audience you are, or what is your use case, and what are the audience for your use case when you are trying to build an application. And then again, you could have a scalability test or the stress test being part of your demo cycle. At the end of the day, your build pipelines or your release pipelines can handle all those things. So what we are trying to say here is that all these phenomena can be integrated into your process, whether you want to achieve high scalability, whether you want to achieve high security. Everything is about the practice and the frameworks that you actually employ into your processes. We are almost now reaching to our end of our discussion. I would like to finally invite both of my colleagues to have their final words on the lessons or the message that you want to give to our audience here, that what they have to do when they talk about low-code, no-code from your experience. How can they mitigate the risks? What are your advices on this phenomenon? I would like to add one more thing here, especially because people are excited when the GitHub copilot is there. I mean, it is also a helper for your coding skills. I mean, if you don't know the code, you just give a scenario, it will generate for you the code. So considering the AI itself, what would you like to suggest? I would start from Fahad.
First, you need to integrate with your IT infrastructure. Integrations. Second, you have to set your goal. So once you have the right goals for the low-code, no-code platforms, you know where you reach. Start small. Don't start big. Start small. Apply the governance and the security requirement and regulations. Use the AI copilot. So once you have the right copilot, you will minimize the errors. Engage the people. Do the right training for them. And then encourage the innovations.
Thank you so much. Dr. Bandhu.
Actually, also I agree with my colleagues, Mr. Fahad, about the points, but if we assume we agree or on the most expensive things in the IT is the data. Data science people before, they are not have like this environment now. Nowadays, data, if you have data, that means you have a money. You can create a money from the data. pipelines, integration, and this will give you exactly data integrity. So if you have a data integrity, then you will have a full view of your path. So I believe to start with the cloud or no-code, low-code platform must cheaper than you build your own. And then you will test your market, if it's work or not, or you just spend the money. I need just tell you one story. When I was in the university 10 years ago, I working with a project for learning management system. And all of my colleagues was built a platform from scratch. They built their own interfaces, they built their own system, core system, they built their own databases. And then I'm thinking that in a different way with my colleagues to use a Moodle or something like Blackboard. And we are in the university, they're using Blackboard. But I need to add something different. They said, no, the professor will give you 0 when you do that because you are cheating him. I said, no way, I need to do something different. So I built my learning system, and I built Joomla as a CMS, and I integrate between them. After 1 month, still my colleagues, they working on build the code. And I am in a different way. I'm just looking at my style and how is look my pages. Okay, I need their, and I find add-ons. Add-ons they provided for the open source, which is Joomla. Maybe a lot of students now they know it or not. But it's CMS, content management system. After that, I find some like a Facebook, but it's old style. But the student can have like a post area, and they can share the videos, they can chat it with each other. So when I integrate those 3 systems together, I have wonderful product. And when my professor saw that, he said, see, you are in the right way. You start where the people stop. You didn't start from the beginning. Anyway, after graduate, I go to my first organization, and I work with my manager. And we had a project like a new website for some sector in our organization, and it was enterprise actually. And I tried to give him this idea. My manager said, are you kidding with me? you need to build our business, our website from like what you say, open source. In that time, the open source is not trusted. But now, we saw Red Hat what they did in the market. We see a lot of new technology become with open source. So I believe we need the new generation to give us what they thinking about after 10 years, and we need to work from there. So this, I need to share it with you guys.
Thank you so much. No, I think, let me summarize our discussion. Dr. Mandar, you highlighted one very important point that there is no need to reinvent the wheel, and low-code, no-code is all about it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, you don't need to rewrite it from scratch. There are coders. I love to code, even myself now. In this age, when I love to write code and love to write or learn new programming languages, but I still believe that what can be done quickly, I should do that. And therefore started learning about GitHub Copilot and all those things. So the thing here is now, the take-home message is do a due diligence, understand your use case, understand your audience, set some benchmarks, what you are trying to do, what is your end game. There are some benchmarks, international benchmarks available about selecting the tool, about low-code, no-code. There are different companies, I don't want to name anyone, but you can Google that one. Look at those benchmarks and then see how it can fit within your use case. There is no single silver bullet here. You need to see and you need to tailor those tools within your requirements. And then most important thing is the cultural change. Sit with your management, sit with your teams, try to lobby with them, try to convince them. And then it is not necessary that you overnight change everything. You can have a parallel teams who can experiment, who can learn, and then start teaching the other teams like train-the-trainer approach. You can go with that approach. And if you have very mature or mature DevOps culture in your organization, you are the blessed one. Because you can still leverage a lot of challenges. You can still, overcome a lot of challenges what usually come within software development. For example, code scanning, security vulnerabilities, code quality, and there are a lot of tools available in the market that you can integrate within your DevOps, and then go through the same testings that you are afraid of, and then finally launching a product. Whether that product would be for a limited audience, like your enterprise application can be the first use case that you can build on top of low-code-no-code, or for A/B testing, for example, you can do for a selected audience to within your product team, within your products, you can launch that one. But again, I will say one last word in Arabic. It's a saying that I always love to say that you have to start actually. This journey has to be started. Thank you so much. I would like to thank my colleagues as well, and thank you for the organization. Thank you so much.